Okay. Hey everybody, you're probably wondering what I'm doing on the ground. I get a lot of questions about the pelvic tilt, okay? So I thought I'd explain it today, all right? So if John comes over here to the side, okay? Now, if you look underneath, okay, you can see light underneath. See my hand? You can see light underneath my small of my back. Okay, this is relaxed. Okay, this position is no good for Chinese martial arts, for Wing Chun. Okay, so I keep telling you guys to make sure that you guys do the pelvic tilt when you're training. So I want to try to figure a way how to show it to you guys to make sure that you're doing it right. Okay, so this is and I thought of gymnastics. Okay, because gymnastics, they have the same pelvic tilt position. They call it the hollow position. Okay, and it's the center of, it's the base of all their movements, a lot of their movements, because it allows them to use their whole body when they're doing their movements. So, how do they practice this? Okay, well, what you do is, I have to get rid of the daylight. This is the curve in my back. So what I do is I take my small of my back and I want to flatten it to the ground. At the same time, I want to push my pelvic tilt. I want to tilt my pelvic forward, my pelvis forward, right? So it's two directions. I'm going forward with my pelvis and down with my small of my back. And when I do that two-way action, I get rid of the daylight. Now my spine is straight. Okay? Okay? So I'm doing two things at one time. Okay? You can't just do one movement. You have to do both. Small of back, press it down, and the pelvis, move it forward. Okay? Ski it forward. Okay? Like that. All right? Now there's no more daylight. Okay? And then from here you can just practice developing this, you can strengthen this pelvic tilt. Okay? How gymnasts do it is they just raise their feet, keeping that pelvic tilt. Okay? And then they raise their hands. Okay? And they just hold this position. Point your toes, right? Just like this. Shoulders off the ground. Oh, jeez. Much harder. Okay? But this will help lock your body and give you a strong brick wall. Okay? This position. Shoulders up, toes up, legs straight, hands up, no daylight. Okay? So when you're doing that, practice that to get the feeling of what you're doing. Okay? All right. Now that we understand how to do that, because the reason is I get a lot of questions on how to, one, do the move, and two is how to test if you're doing it right. Okay? So one is practice on the ground. That's going to help you. Then when you do it standing up, right, you start to understand that it's not just one movement. It's not just hips forward. If I only do one movement, focusing the hips, pelvic tilt forward, my shoulders will start to lean away. See? A lot of beginners do this. Okay? The hips go forward, but the shoulders go back. This is no good. Okay? Chinese, in Wing Chun, we never retreat. That applies to this principle, also applies to this basic movement. Okay? So you don't want to retreat the shoulders. Okay? So how do I do that? That means I have to do two actions. One is push the small of the back out to flatten it, and at the same time pelvic tilt forward. Okay? When I do the two actions, my shoulder alignment is still underneath my heels. I'm not leaning away. And I sink. Now my spine is straight. Okay? So learn to do this movement correctly. Okay? That way you're not a leaning brick wall like this. Okay? Now,